Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of the KRCA Podcast. I'm your host, Liam Waddock, also known as Quirty Quirts.
I'm Jasper Murray.
I'm Isaac Ladder.
And I'm Feliks Zemdegs. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Okay, so I guess Dwayne couldn't make it. He was going to, but unfortunately just couldn't do it today, so yeah. We got quite a few comments from last episode, so we're going to answer all those. We left a few out as well, but yeah. So the first one's from Ashley Foster. Thoughts on coronavirus saving the NR streak for New Zealand? So, basically there was going to be a competition on March 28th, but it got cancelled, and there were only 15 people signed up, so it was a bit dodgy. So,
to be honest, I think that NR streak needs to go, because it just shows
how bad we are.
I mean, I think it's cool, and I think that the NR streak probably would have survived at Nelson because there were 3 rounds of Skewb, and Dwayne was going, and Ben, I think Ben was going, and there was 5x5, so I'm pretty sure it was safe for that. So I just think it's bad that comps are being cancelled.
Yeah. Aren't Ben's NRs kind of good for him for 5x5?
I'm not sure.
I think his single 51 is decent.
Yeah, his average is 57, right? Something.
You guys should know, you're the New Zealanders.
Sure.
I don't even know 3x3
What?
It's Simon.
You don't know average.
7.5?
Yeah, 750, and then 635.
Yeah.
Do you know Skewb? And I was Isaac.
58 average, is that what we wanted?
Hey, what? For 5x5?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 5x5.
Yeah. He could.
Ben could beat that.
Yeah,
for sure.
he averages 50,
if he's practicing at the moment.
5 something. Also, apparently James taught Ben a lot of 4x4 tricks, and he said he was going to break it.
Yeah. Well, he was averaging sub 30 the other day.
Wait, really? Oh yeah, he did. He got a 27 average.
When we were in cubing time.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that a lot of people have a lot of time to practice now, but not to compete.
True. I mean, the online comps are good anyway. I'm running one a couple days. Yeah. But I think
it's just not the same.
Do we have an advertisement in here for the cubing quarantine?
The registration's full, but there is a 5 New Zealand online comp happening, yes. Yeah. Cubing in Quarantine New Zealand 2020. Yeah. Okay. So, another one from Ashley Foster is location prediction for New Zealand Nationals. If it's happening anyway, I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I kind of want it to be South Island, because...
Yeah. It'll probably be in Wellington, but
Wellington.
Yeah, last Wellington one was 2017, so...
Yeah,
I feel like it's...
Alright, I have to say Wellington too.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with... I think it will be Wellington, but I really want it to be Christchurch or something. Because I want to go to the South Island, especially for a big comp.
Yeah. Or a big-ish comp.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how many people would that attract, South Island Nationals.
Most South Island competitions get 40 people.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
Nationals maybe 80?
Yeah, I'd say 80.
Because lots of people would travel for that, yeah.
Yeah, but
if people don't have competitions for the next little while, then everyone will want to go.
It's true.
So I feel like they'll get more. They'll be bigger.
I mean, we don't really know when the whole thing's going to end, which is most of us are assuming June or July, and Nationals is in December, so
yeah. So maybe you have plenty of comps.
Yeah,
by
might
that
be
stage.
a few. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have a lot more comps in a row now because of that. Let's put them all together, or if we're just gonna cancel some. Alright. So, Ashley Foster again. What's the hardest event to get world class out of 2x2, Pyramix, and Skewb?
Well, it's definitely not 2x2. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, because...
That's
hardest event. Yeah, no, I'd say it
1.5.
is 2x2 then. Because 2x2, is quite a popular event.
Yeah. Doesn't, Timon say Pyrrha is, everyone's bad at it?
Well... he did say that, but then more people practiced.
Oh, okay. Didn't he say that, after Worlds, though?
Yeah, and then he stopped, and then a bunch of people caught up to him.
Oh.
But, people aren't great at it. Because, if I can be almost there, then it shouldn't be.
Yeah, in New Zealand to be world class to be weird.
It's definitely not.
I only practice.
Skewb is like top 100 is like a 3.2 average. So
I only practice for like a year, and like I'm bad in comp, but I feel like probably Skewb is harder because like I just didn't find that hard.
Well, maybe we should
say Pyraminx or Skewb.
Maybe we should ask the Skewb guy.
Given the popularity of 2x2, people have been. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more you have to learn to get, world class at 2x2.
Which one?
Also be insane at execution. Pyraminx and Skewb, I don't really know enough about.
Well, actually, Pyra probably has the least hours. It's just. Is it?
Would 2x2 have the most?
No, it definitely does.
I meant the 2x2 you have to learn a lot more than you do for Pyra or Skewb.
Skewb.
And be insanely good at, inspection and turning.
Yeah.
Pyra turning's just horrible though. It's hard to get used to. I actually be really good at it.
Yeah, Pyraminx and Skewb, the turning on both of those is very different. Yeah. A very different style.
Yeah. The reason I say Skewb is because I find Skewb way harder personally, but like I don't really know.
I'd say 2x2 because there are a lot of like good people.
Yeah, 2x2 is probably
I misread the question. I definitely think it's 2x2.
Yeah. Alright.
Next question.
Okay, so another one from Ashley Foster. He left quite a few. What is the world record that needs the most improvement? 3x3 average. No, I'm kidding.
Let me have a look. Need to get the records up.
Probably like Big Blind or something. I mean, OH is up there too, but.
Oh yeah, the OH average.
This is like what's the most beatable?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like the one that could be improved the most. Like
most beatable.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like Stanley can beat his big blinds.
Like surely, like someone on 4 blind.
Yeah, for sure. And then the one-handed average is like 2 years old at 9.42. And you've got a bunch of people sub 10 now, and people like Patrick doing sub 10 pretty consistently.
What are you averaging now?
Me, I think in comp it's around like mid 10,
higher,
like globally, but I'm pretty inconsistent.
Oh yeah. So it's probably
as in like definitely have like the potential to
definitely
go low 9, and I think that's the same for a lot of other people as well.
Yeah, true.
So that one can be beaten pretty easily.
But like, if you look at,
and then you've got so you go.
If you look at where Keon was, like he was sub 9, I think. So like, if anyone who uses Rue gets like pretty good, they could probably break it. Like
Dwayne. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
Or someone like Patrick.
Yeah, let's hope a CFOP person gets.
or to be honest, Max, who has the highest chance of actually beating it because he's better than everyone.
True.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna get broken. It should have gone broken this year if we had enough comps, but I feel like it's gonna get broken. Yeah, this year or like early next year maybe. And Big Blind, if Stanley goes to like a few comps, he'll break it probably. And
even 3 blind, to be honest.
Really? Kind of. Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with like the sorts of times that people are doing at home, but my impression is that the single and the average are pretty beatable if someone just does pretty like nice solves.
Yeah, I think mean's easier probably. Some good people.
Yeah, because if you look at 3 blind, there's so many people at like the same level. It's ridiculous how many people are at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say even more so than one-handed. There's like more people who have a chance to realistically beat that average.
I still feel like one-handed could be easier because Rue hasn't got its full potential for OH yet, really.
Yeah, but I don't see anyone with Rue like imminently going to get sub 9.4 at the moment. Like that's at least like a year away.
True.
I think. Who knows? Sean Villanova could be just practicing one hand for a year.
That'd be scary. Alright, so the last one from Ashley is, for New Zealander comps, do you think they should stop having fixed stations for short events, such as 2x2 Skewb and Pyraminx?
I don't think they specifically have fixed stations for those, and I don't see how it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they have them for some finals, but that doesn't really matter if there's no one else having to wait.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they mean like having two groups instead of...
Yeah, well, for the finals, it just depends on how many people there are in relative to how many stations there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, it goes basically the exact same speed. It's probably easier to, like, have the same judge anyway, and not have to... It's just easier to manage having everyone stay in the same spot, really. It doesn't really change the time management or anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's different for short or long events.
Yeah, I mean... Longer events will probably be easier as well. Okay, so... Next one's from Crazy Cuber. What is the average age most people would start cubing?
I think I was 11. And I'd
I
say
was 13.
Right.
Yeah, I was 12.
I was 12 as well.
Yeah.
And the impression I get from people at competitions, and the average age there is, probably like 12 years old.
Sometimes it's a lot younger.
12 years old when they start.
Starting comps or starting cubing?
It says cubing.
Probably like, 11, 12 somewhere.
Cubing, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, I started like slightly late, I think.
Yeah.
There you go. This one's from Jordan Wong. Thoughts on Skewb? This is really broad. Is it like thoughts on... I don't know. What does he mean
It's
by
bad.
Yeah,
It's bad.
I agree with you.
It's bad, but there's worse.
When are we getting
True.
Skewb God version 2? We need a Skewb God V2. When's that coming out?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to write that one down.
Yes.
Because I've been doing Skewb at recent competitions just so that I can. Yeah. So because the reason that I do like Pyraminx, I explained this to a couple people, but at like not very competitive comps, I do like Pyraminx and Skewb,
Right.
so that I can make the finals,
Okay.
and then for the whole afternoon I can just sit down at one station and just practice and not have to worry about getting up anyway. That kind of backfires sometimes when I like try doing Skewb and come like 13th,
Right.
stuff like that. But it's, I mean, I think it adds. I like that, you know, it's quite popular and kids really like it. I don't think it's, you know, a particularly complex or interesting solving method. And even the people who like heavily campaigned for it to be added to competitions kind of now regret that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I would have preferred that it didn't get added to WCA competitions, but now that it's here, I think it's popular enough and enough people like it that it's probably worth it.
Skewb God got 1.5 million views.
It has so many views.
What the hell?
I don't know how this happened, but
Like, most of it's probably like non-cubers, right? And what do they see from the title? They probably don't know what a Skewb is.
yeah. I'll happily take the YouTube.
Yeah,
views.
fair enough.
And all right, I reckon Skewb God version 2 will get a few clicks as well.
Ah, yes.
If I mean,
Will it
needed
be
some
like
clickbait.
official or like an online comp?
No, it has to be official.
Ah, yeah. So it's coming out like in 2021.
No. There'll be comps this year, don't worry.
Alright, so another one from Jordan is, have you ever felt like quitting cubing? Many times for me.
I've never officially quit. I've sort of just stopped cubing for a couple of months and then sort of come back to it, but I've never sort of just felt like quitting.
Like I've stopped cubing for like a week or so a few times, but there was one time back in 2017 after my first comp when I stopped for like, I don't know, 4 months or so. I don't know. I was gonna go to comps and it was kind of boring to practice.
I mean, I never felt like quitting. There's just been sometimes like last year for a couple of weeks I had like exams, so I didn't really have time, but I've never really stopped.
Oh, same. I wanted to cube so bad during exams, but I couldn't.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like similar. Like I've been doing it for what now, like 12 years now.
Yeah.
So if I haven't really felt like quitting yet, then I don't think that's going to happen. But I guess similarly, there's certain times where, you know, like you won't intensely practice for a few weeks or a few months. Particularly, I find after like really massive competitions where I've had a big build up, particularly Worlds last year and like previous Worlds.
The hype afterwards.
The really big competitions where you're practicing very intensely and competing in the lead up, and then afterwards you just don't feel like touching a cube, or at least like after some of them,
really?
I don't feel like touching a cube for a little while.
Usually like then, a day after.
But then it's mostly if I don't have competitions in a few months after that.
Oh yeah. I mean, usually like a day after comps or like 1 or 2 days, I want to practice a lot, but I don't know. During the comps, I'm like, oh yes, I'm going to learn all this stuff after the comp, and then sometimes I just get bored and stop cubing for a bit. It is weird. Like every single comp.
Sometimes I'm motivated to learn new stuff after competition, but I've realised by now that it never happens.
Like during a comp, I'll be like, oh yes, I'm definitely going to learn it this time, and then it never happens. I always plan to learn
never
stuff.
Felt like actually completely quitting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because of my geographical location, I go to like few comps that like they're pretty special, so I just always want to practice for them, but like I don't necessarily need to. And then afterwards, it's like if I did really bad in an event, then my PR is probably still going to be really bad because all of them typically will be bad by the time my next comp happens. So, like, I'll just want to keep practicing so I can make it good. And I've never really been to a very big comp, so I don't really have that experience either.
Yeah. Alright, so this one seems to be targeted towards Feliks from Jordan. If you weren't sponsored by GAN, which company would you want to be sponsored by?
Oh, that can go for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, true. Isaac.
Well, I've never really been like sponsored by any other cube companies. I don't really have that experience.
Were you sponsored by like Moyu, like really early giving days?
I wouldn't call it.
Oh yeah, there's like push you on the boxes and stuff.
I wouldn't call it sponsorship by any means. That's a good question. I've never really thought about it too much, to be honest, just because I've been like working with GAN for now nearly like 5 years, and like informally using their cubes for even longer than that. And so it's never really crossed my mind like super seriously to like try and get a different sponsorship. Also now because I'm just so used to their cubes. So the main Chinese companies like Moyu and Qi, it's never really crossed my mind. The one company which would be interesting, who I think are like starting to sponsor cubers, is Rubik's now.
Wait, really? I haven't heard of that.
I'm not sure that there's been much released about that, but that's my understanding. And
that's really unfortunate.
If you're sponsored by Rubik's, you don't really have much hardware.
Do you have to use the 4x4 and 5x5?
Oh my god.
No. There's no hardware restriction. I think it's more like you're a brand ambassador. But obviously there's
do they like give you free Rubik's brands? That's like
so
really sad.
You need to be quite careful. People would need to be quite careful with as well. That's probably my answer. But to be honest, it's not really a consideration at all.
Okay, so the last question we got was from Kiwi Cuba. Any tips to be sub 10 on 3x3?
Wow, that's a very, very vague and broad question. I mean, there are many tips to be sub 10 at 3x3.
It really depends on what your weaknesses are.
I mean,
I'm averaging like 10
to be.
So.
But what's the trick? There's got to be a trick, right?
Yes, there are tricks. I can't reveal them on the podcast.
Zeroing.
They're completely confidential. But I mean, if I have to answer, somewhat seriously, the basic fundamentals of sub 10 are just, like good finger tricks, minimizing your sort of regrips for your cross and F2L. Obviously, have very move efficient and nice finger trick efficient crosses. Try and plan. You should plan cross and first pair in inspection. You should know full OLL and PLL if you're using CFOP. This is all CFOP related. And be able to execute them very quickly. Obviously know 2 ALGs per PLL, that sort of thing, from different angles. those are your fundamentals, but it obviously takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is look ahead, and
Yeah,
it's achievable.
It really depends on what
everyone.
you're bad at specifically to not be subbed in. It's like you kind of need to get someone to check your weaknesses, like just for you.
Yeah, that as well. Like being somewhat reflective on your solves, like filming your solves, having a look back at them, comparing your solutions to, there's a whole reconstruction.
So if you want
database on the internet, there's a bunch of I've got heaps of videos of example solves, that sort of thing. So try and emulate that.
If you're looking to see what your
there's a lot of resources.
If you're looking to see what your actual weaknesses are, maybe just get a friend who's subbed in or so to critique you and see what you actually need to improve at.
Yeah. A lot of people are very helpful.
Isaac.
The debate where we all seem to be on the same side, but the first debate question is Rue the future method of speed cubing?
No.
It's
good,
someone
but
asked
it's not
this.
better than CFOP, so
is Rue fully explored yet? Is there still more that hasn't been discovered?
What I'm thinking is, since most people just learn CFOP when they first, because it's the most well-known method.
Yeah.
Then they'll get a lot of people. The reason they don't learn Rue is because they've already learned CFOP and they don't really want to switch. And so I feel like it won't get explored as much as CFOP because there are so many people just already using CFOP, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you go on YouTube and search up how to solve the cube fast or something, it'll just come up with a CFOP tutorial. You're not going to find Rue that way.
Or one of those videos from Cubing Encoded that make you solve in 5 moves.
What? Yeah, but that's not a... No.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, really depends what you think of or how you frame the question. If you think, if the question is, is Rue going to take over and be more popular than CFOP? I think absolutely not. Just because of because of that inertia that CFOP has. You're not going to see, Rue tutorials in the front page of YouTube for anyone learning how to solve a cube. And that's inevitably where people start. And then, like you say, when people want to learn how to get faster, progress from layer by layer to CFOP, then they won't be switching to Rue from that point unless they're particularly interested in the method because of that inertia. And so from that perspective, I don't feel like it'll ever be nearly as popular as CFOP. But in terms of ability and speed potential, I think it's just as viable, and as people like Kian have shown, at least unofficially, and even he got the first sub 10 OH average. It's very viable for one-handed, and potentially better than CFOP for one-handed. Two-handed, I'm less sure. Don't really have too much of a view there. But obviously people can get exceptionally fast with it for two hands, and it's just as viable as CFOP.
Yeah.
But then I guess the downside is that it doesn't really translate to big cubes.
Yeah.
So in order to be decent at big cubes, using 4.455 Yao, you need to be very good at CFOP as well. So the people who learn Rue end up being 3x3 in one hand specialists, which is kind of limiting. If you're really interested in other puzzles. I mean, certainly people, use stuff like Maya for 4x4, 5x5, but it's not very good.
Which brings us into our next one, Isaac. Let's go.
Is Maya
Maya, I think.
Is Maya good?
Is it Maya? It's Maya, right? I'm actually confused.
I don't know, I just say Maya because it's Via.
Yeah. Well,
true.
Whatever it's called, is Maya a good big cube method? And I actually don't know what Maya... I've heard of it.
We need Dwayne here. It's like Rue, but for cubes, basically.
If you look at the steps of the method, it's basically just worse than Yao in every way, But if you're a Rue user, then like it's a lot better as well. So
we need Dwayne here for this because he uses Maya.
Yeah.
Well, he said that he admits that it's worse than I'm pretty sure, but he uses it because he's faster at it, and
yeah, true.
He's like really, really good at doing M moves on big cubes. It's amazing.
Didn't you get like a 105 on 3x3? No, 103 on 5x5, sorry.
102. Yeah.
Oh, did you get 103?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't remember which one was which. Yeah, Dwayne's really good for Maya, actually. Considering it's not considered like a top method, really. People are starting to use it a lot more now, though, I think.
You can get almost as fast probably with Maya. It's just like objectively worse, but like it's
harder to get good at.
It's not bad enough that if you're a Rue user and you put in enough practice, like it's gonna hold you back that much.
Yeah. Alright.
And then the final one from Aiden Linton: salted or unsalted butter?
This is a very debatable question here.
I don't know if I can like I've had salted. I can't tell. Like, I honestly don't know which butter we have. So
yeah, neither.
I don't think I've tried salted butter.
No idea.
Well, I'm gonna say salted because I mean
that sounds tastier.
Yeah, probably salted.
Wait, who was it? Who was it that ate like a whole stick of butter in under a minute?
Oh, that was a bunch of people.
Yeah.
They all did it at one competition, didn't they? I just remember Mark Boyd did it, but he did it very slowly compared to the eventual winner.
Oh, I thought he did it sub 1.
Yeah, my brother used to eat butter just by itself.
Why? It tastes horrible. So I'm guessing that most of us...
Who's cubing in the background?
Sorry.
Who's cubing? That's been a rule since episode 1, Isaac. Yeah, probably salted because it tastes better, probably. I wouldn't know, though.
Yeah. Okay, well that was a dumb question, but it's Jasper.
We've got some guest questions here for Felix. So the first one is about competing under a lot of pressure. So obviously you've been in lots of big finals and stuff. So do you have any tips for people for actually performing decently and not just like completely falling apart?
Yeah, that's a very tough one. So I think at least the way I kind of approach stuff is like I want to practice to do well in, at least this is kind of where I've gone over the past few years, is I want to practice to be able to do well at local comps and that sort of thing. But then I guess the ultimate goal is when you're at a really big final to be able to solve somewhat decently, because I feel like at least over the last few years you've kind of seen that if you can just hold it together and do a somewhat decent average, look at Worlds 2019, US Nats 2019, Euros 2018, all of those ones, people, what was it, like Phil Wire got 6.7, like Patrick won with 7 low, Matt's won with like 7.2 or something like that. The ultimate goal is to be able to solve decently in those really, really big competitions, and the kind of approach I take is pretty similar for both of them. Like I don't really think about it too differently. I think the fundamentals are you need to have, like, physically, your hands need to be warm. You need to be able to have the, I guess, fine motor skills in check, so not shaking too much, so that you can actually physically turn the puzzle very well and be able to execute the finger tricks that you would at home, or at least half decently. If you
are shaking, how would you stop that? What's the best way, do you think?
If you're really, really shaking, I just try and take a few deep breaths. Like that even happens for me at some local competitions. I think when I was in New Zealand last month or a few weeks ago, I got a 4.16 and I was pretty much just shaking for the rest of the round after that. And that kind of the way I kind of just dealt with that was just just close my eyes and try and take deep breaths. But you kind of got to accept that you will shake, but then it's about, okay, like recognize that you're shaking and try and take steps to kind of mitigate the effects of that. So, if I'm really, hands are really shaking, then I try and just stick to like the safest finger tricks possible. So don't do anything fancy at all. Try and just stick to R and U as much as you possibly can for your F2L. So it's kind of just limiting your ability to like, completely drop the cube or like mess up a finger trick, that sort of thing. So it's, on the physical side, like it's just about, being warmed up beforehand, being able to turn reasonably well, keeping your finger tricks safe in those really big finals. Like obviously at local competitions, I don't really care. Like I care about my performance, but if I mess something up, I'm not super annoyed or anything like that. So I try and be a bit more experimental. But that's kind of a very defensive mindset. And the one thing I would say that I've found in my solving, this is something I mentioned to Ben and a bunch of other people as well, but basically I feel like if I go into a round or anything with the mindset of like, I just don't want to mess up, like, all right, I'm just trying to get these solves done and not mess up, that's inevitably when you mess up, I feel. So and it's just the smallest thing ever, and I have like, no stats to back it up, but I just feel like if you go into a round, the mindset is quite important, being like, okay, I want to do very well in this round. I want to, get a sub-6 average in this round. You'll inevitably end up with, or at least for me, like if I have that sort of really positive mindset, even if I get, mid-6 or whatever, that's still decent. As opposed to, all right, I don't want to mess up the solve. The mindset should be, okay, I want to get a sub-6. So that's something that's kind of useful as well. And then as much as possible, try not to think about, like, it's going to happen, but just try and take each solve one at a time. Don't spend too much time worrying about, how the average is going, what you need, what the potential is. That's obviously very much easier said than done. That's a bunch of things, to be honest. And then inspection is something that I mess up a lot in competition. And I feel like it may be the case for other people as well.
Like when you find nothing to do and then you have to start it.
Yeah. I mean, that
happens a few times to me.
It's not super common. Like sometimes you'll get those scrambles for color neutral where you just have like no cross pieces at all and there's nothing, and then you just got to like settle on something and try and go safely. But I mean more in terms of like keep your inspection kind of safe. So some of the biggest mistakes that people make are like misinspecting in competition. I feel like that happens a lot more in competition than at home, for me at least, and probably for other people, is, you plan your cross and your first pair, and you execute it, and then, you've executed that and your first pair is nowhere to be seen.
Yes.
Solved across. But
that's
then you get to a point
to me,
where because you've gone ahead and executed it so quickly, like you're completely lost, you don't know where any pieces are, and then your solve's pretty much ruined. So it's about being a bit safer in inspection. So if you're not 100% sure on what you've planned, then just execute it a bit slower and be certain of that. That's That's my approach. But definitely, like in the really big stuff, it's really focused on like doing things more safely. And then I suppose, not that it happens too much, but you do have to think about the game theory aspect sometimes as well. In the really big comps of like, okay, I've got like, let's say a Worlds last year, for example. I started with like a 6, then a 9, then a 7. So by the time it's like the fourth solve, I'm like, okay, I obviously just need to go all out here. I can't really be defensive. And so it's kind of making those sorts of decisions.
Yeah, I find that getting a really bad average at the start just makes the rest like decent. Like my clock average was like 10 DNF, and I got like 7 8 because I knew I stuffed it up already.
That's something I think is pretty common as well. Like sometimes people's best averages are when they start with something like a bad solve or like just a normal solve and then finish on the best solve. I feel like it's more common that you get a PB average with a really strong finish than it is, getting like a 5.55 and then I feel like it's more common that people finish their average on a really good solve and get a PB average rather than starting really well and then kind of choking the end. Not that there's anything you can do about that. That's just an observation. But yeah, there's my thinking and process over the years has, developed a lot. And still, I think ultimately at the end of the day, like, you just got to kind of accept that, especially in cubing, there is a lot of variance. And, sometimes for whatever reason, like, you'll be exceptionally nervous. Like, even sometimes at local competitions, I might have prepared well, like, got good sleep, feeling well, like warming up really well before the round, and then for whatever reason just completely butcher it. And then I have the opposite where I'm just feeling terrible or like, not solving very well, and then I'll go into the round and actually, get a really good average unexpectedly. And so a lot of cubing is being like just, comfortable with the outcome and knowing that like there's going to be a lot of variance. And that's where I think some people, at least, not to say that people are like mentally weak or anything like that, but people do like one bad final or a couple of bad finals in big comps and kind of give up. On cubing, you see this a lot with well, not a lot, but you see this sometimes with people, and you've just got to kind of be comfortable with some of the variance that is associated with cubing, because you might be completely capable of doing really well and winning a competition, winning world championships, winning a continentals or whatever. This only applies for very few people, but you might be completely capable of that and think that you messed it up. But a lot of people are capable, and it's some of it just comes down to who does it on the day. I don't know. I've got a lot of.
Yeah. Were you very nervous at your first competition?
My first comp in New Zealand, I don't remember being exceptionally nervous for that one. I think my solves were kind of decent compared to what I did at home.
Decent. Didn't you get like how many world records? Didn't you get a few?
No, it was just oceanic records.
Oh, so you got world
But
records.
that was also just
that was
records
2010
by default, because no one had competed, or like very few people had competed in Oceania before, and like so I think my times were like slightly worse than at home, like, but nothing disastrous.
Yeah.
But some of the more nervous competitions, I'm trying to think of when I've been the most nervous ever. I think the one I say that I've been the most nervous for ever was Worlds 2013.
Oh yeah, with maths.
Worlds 2013.
Was it
in Las Vegas?
Was it head to head with Mats? Was that different?
Oh yeah. That's the one where I was like the most nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, basically feeling sick the whole time, just out of nerves. And then Worlds 2019 was pretty nerve-wracking as well. Yeah. But again, sometimes you just got to accept that there'll be days when you're very, very nervous, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Jasper.
Forgive the ramble.
Does someone else want to read this one?
We have to summon him every time it's his turn. This is a really awkward question. What do you think of the Feliks Zemdegs body pillow meme? It's a dumb question.
Is this the Volk 3 guy on Instagram?
Yes, it is.
Did he start that?
I think so.
Okay. Probably.
Yeah, he does a good job of memes.
He does.
Yeah. You have one, don't you, Liam?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll send it to you after. Actually, I'll do it now while. Yeah. Wait, so what do you think of the meme itself? Or like in general?
I mean, I don't care too much. Like, whatever. Funny, I guess. But, yeah.
Alright.
Should become an actual thing, that'd be.
No, Isaac. That's just weird now, Isaac.
There's been so many freaking memes, like Feliks memes, over the years.
There's someone who's been like posting a picture of you, the same picture, or many people on Instagram for like the last year or so.
Yeah, I mean also stuff like orange hoodie and like a rice pudding recipe and Skewb God and Like literally everything like that. I don't know.
Isaac.
Is it me?
Why has no one checked this?
Records. There are none for obvious reasons. Okay, on to you, Liam.
Great segment, Isaac. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Did anyone get records in the online comps?
Subworld records? I think Stanley was close to 3 blind single.
Oh, Stanley got a nice blind single.
Yeah.
Patrick got a 5 average.
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. It's like 5.77 something.
Yeah, state record.
Oh, okay.
No, it was like 5.9, but...
I got sub OCR, I think, in one of the other comps, clock. Alright. That's clock, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, we're gonna play the game segment. So, this is one that I came up with ages ago, but it turns out... Okay. It turns out that this one is the exact same thing that happened on Dilsoni. And I'm pretty sure it's Feliks' episode as well, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
I think he won.
I didn't steal the idea, because I did this a few episodes ago. Like episode 4 or something. But like... I didn't steal it, I just came up with the exact same idea. Like, I didn't know it was a thing, but I guess I'm gonna do it again, because Ashley said he wanted us to do it again. So, basically, I'm on a different dock, and I have 10 different... what were they? So, I'm gonna give you a time, a country or area or whatever, and then the placing they got in that area. And then basically just gonna have to guess what event it was.
Wait, is Isaac coming back?
Yes, he is reconnecting. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, how it's gonna work, I want you guys to go on like a different tab or something and just copy your answer from that tab and then paste it when I say go onto the one that says answers. And next to your name. See, everyone go onto your answers.
Yeah. Okay.
And just paste it when you're ready.
Wait,
okay.
Alright, paste what?
So it's got. I'll give you like I'm gonna give you a time, an area, and a placing that they got.
Yeah. Just write it.
And basically just go on a different tab and then copy it and then just paste it on 3, 2, 1. Just no one can change it. All right. So number 1, Eddie de Turch, 15th in France with a single of 51.52.
I got none of that, Liam.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it both all in twice or whatever. Eddie de Turch, 15th in France with a single of 51.52. What's the event?
I can't.
Wait, what?
Can you just like post the question in the Discord or something? I can't actually remember.
Yeah, I put it there. I put it underneath. What event is that? 15th in France with a single of 51.52. Is everyone ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, everyone got that right. It was Mega Minx, yes.
I was thinking 5/5 for a little bit, but no.
Oh yeah, that could have been. Alright, everyone gets a point for that one. So yeah, let's delete your current thing and then do it again. I'll paste this one again here as well. So of course got to get Anto on this. So Antonio Cam, 61st in Hong Kong with a single of 7.72.
Oh no.
Some of these are going to be really hard, by the way.
61st in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Antonio Cam, 61st in Hong Kong with a single of 7.72. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Nice.
It's not quite.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god, Isaac.
Okay.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go. Oh, all different. Okay, so one of you got it right. Jasper put Pyraminx, Isaac put Clock, and Feliks put Skewb. The answer was Pyraminx, so Jasper got that one right.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was Pyraminx or Skewb, but I remember in episode 2, Anto told us that he used to be sub 5 on Skewb, so I figured he probably would have a better single than that.
Probably, nice. Yeah. Okay, I nearly copied the answer to this one. Whoops. Okay, number 3. Tadio Villanueva, He's 47th in Mexico with either an average or a mean of 6.03.
What event would you have a mean of 603?
I'm just okay for all the ones that are either a mean or an average. I put average/mean, so it's like not easy to tell. So Tadeo Villanueva, 40
what in
47th in Mexico with an average or mean of 6.03.
Wait, actually,
I do not.
I was like searching it up.
Is.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Jasper and Isaac put 2x2 and Feliks put Skewb. The answer was Skewb.
I was gonna go with Skewb, but I'm like, how good are the people?
Yeah.
Apparently, Mexico is actually like decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a decent country, but no one knows it is.
That sounds weird out of context.
Wait, what?
It's a decent country.
Like actually. Okay, number 4. Timothy Simons, 14th in Australia with a single of 8.89.
Is that...
Timothy Simons, 14th in Australia with a single of 8.89.
Oh gosh!
Oh my god, Isaac!
Oh, this is hard.
This one is pretty hard. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
No. Wait.
Just using his big brain.
Wait. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. I've made up my mind here.
Okay. I thought I was gonna do like 5 points or something. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Jasper and Feliks put clock and Isaac put 3x3. The answer was clock.
Yeah.
So...
What is 3x3?
I think it's because I know Timothy Simons.
Oh, okay.
No, I know the name at least.
Because I knew it was... I thought it was probably going to be like 3x3, but then I realised that like that would be way worse than 14th in New Zealand, and Australia is better.
Yeah.
So I thought clock would probably be...
So Jasper and Feliks are on 3 points, getting all of them right, and Isaac's on 1.
How many are left?
There's 10. There's 6 more. Okay, number 5.
Oh, I didn't get the...
Oh god!
Did you see that?
I saw that, yeah.
Okay,
I didn't get the 2x2 one.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Mexico one. So I have 2 points. I didn't get the second one.
Okay, Isaac, I'll just give you a point then, I guess. Okay.
Liam, I only have 2 points. I didn't get the Mexico one.
Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so...
No, Jasper, you're on 3.
Is he?
Oh, Feliks is on 4 then.
Oh yeah, sorry, there are 4. Must have...
I
would have...
I'm on 3.
Wait, what?
I guess Skewb correctly, and I guess
yeah.
correctly.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
You got the pyramids one.
Okay. So Lucas Hansen, 23rd in Denmark with an average or mean of 46.33.
23rd in Denmark.
Lucas Hansen, 23rd in Denmark with an average or mean of 46.33. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
I was like, just don't answer it, you saw it.
Do I get a point for free?
Yeah, sure. Maybe if everyone else gets it wrong, then no.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, is everyone ready?
Wait.
Yep.
3.
Oh wait, this is definitely wrong. Okay, sure, I'll just go.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I won't give you a point to Isaac because everyone else got it wrong. It was
I thought I saw it at the bottom where it said Megaminx, but then I realised that didn't make sense, but it was too late to change.
Damn. That'd be
Wait, what was the average?
46.33.
It was 46, that would not be 23rd in Denmark.
23rd in Denmark, that's like...
Yeah, no, 4
really
didn't
good.
feel right.
Okay, I was giving not a point for that. I accidentally put the answer in there as well. And Isaac saw it. Okay. This one might be a bit easier. I'm gonna butcher this name like a lot. Maya Uki is 46 in Asia, with an average or mean of 16 minutes 47 seconds flat.
What's the ranking?
46 in Asia, with an average or mean of 16 minutes 47 seconds. 0.00. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I was expecting 4 and 5 blind, but Isaac did 3 blind, and Jasper and Felix did 4 blind. The answer was 4 blind.
Ah, I was just thinking. I didn't think like 46 people would have an average. Like, I mean, like 4.
It's Asia. It's a big continent.
Yeah, true. It's Asia, but I didn't even.
It's a
think
continent.
I know, but I didn't think that many people had like. Oh, am I thinking of 5 blind? There's not many people.
Yeah, so the way I thought about it was if it's that long and it's ranked well in Asia, it's definitely blind. And there's not going to be 3 blind.
Yeah.
Because people would be too good at that. And then for 4 and 5 blind,
is like beyond StackMat.
I wasn't sure, but then I realized that probably not 46 people in Asia have 5 blind mean.
Yeah, I was gonna go with 4 blind, but I'm like, I forgot how well, not easier 3.
That's a really bad 3 blind mean.
I know.
Alright.
I'm thinking in New Zealand terms.
No, that's a bad idea for
There's
a whole continent.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna butcher this name as well, I'm sorry. Zabir bin Moaj. He's first in Bangladesh with a single of 126.88. First in Bangladesh with a single of 126.88.
How good are the Bangladeshians?
I have no idea.
That's what makes it hard. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I'm not
go.
oh gosh. I'm not looking. This is my answer.
No, we haven't.
Okay,
No,
yeah, no one's done it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. Okay, so Jasper did 5x5, Isaac with 6x6, and Felix with 3 blind. The answer was 3 blind. Felix got that one right.
Wait, what even is the 6x6 world record?
Oh, you take the lead.
6x6 world record is like 109.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure there's like fast, like decent 3x3s in Bangladesh. So then I like tried to extrapolate that to like a decent 5x5 time and thought it would be faster than 126. So I was like, okay, not fast.
Alright.
That was.
I'm still on 1 point.
You're gonna get another one right, Isaac. Update, Isaac on 1, Jasper on 4, Felix on 5. Alright. Next one. Dylan Swartz is 8th in Africa with a single of 258.46. 8th in Africa, single of 258.46.
Oh boy.
Don't type it out this time, Isaac. Okay, is everyone ready?
Yep.
Wow. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, everyone got that right. It was 6x6.
Yeah, I get another point.
Yay. You might win this one, Isaac. Okay. Okay,
How many more are there?
I nearly copied. 2 more. I nearly copied the answer again. Number 9. Pissy and Saranta is 49th in Europe with a single of 5.77. 49th in Europe with a single of 5.77.
Ooh, that's tough. What's the name?
Pissy and Saranta. You can scroll down a little bit, it's right there. Let's pick
Can I get a country?
Europe.
No, but of the person.
Oh. I haven't got that. I can get that if you want, actually.
No, that's alright.
Oh, I think it was it was Finland, actually. I remember that. Pissy. It is Finland. Is everyone ready?
49th in Europe. Yeah, sure.
Everyone ready now?
This
Isaac?
is probably way too
Yeah.
fast, I think.
I think so. I'm like 50% sure I've got it right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, yeah, if everyone got 3x3. That was 3x3.
I wasn't sure if it was too fast.
Because I didn't know the name.
Oh. Alright, last one. This might be a bit harder. Okay. Tim Wong is 972nd in the world with an average mean of 9.15. 972nd in the world with an average mean of 9.15. This one might be a bit hard. I can't even count the points right now. Can Jasper still win this?
No.
Actually,
if I get this and Felix doesn't, then we tie.
Nah.
Yeah. No, I think he gave me an extra point for some reason.
Wait, did I?
Jasper's one behind.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, so does Jasper get another one?
I think I'm one behind as well.
Yeah.
Wait, are you actually?
That was my feel.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
No.
Okay.
Wait, average 9.15?
Average or mean of 9.15, yes.
900 and what? Something in the world.
972nd in the world.
Yeah. Alright, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go. Jasper with clock, Isaac of Skewb, and Felix with 3x3. It was a trick question because it was 3x3 again. So Felix got that one right.
Nice.
I was gonna go 3x3, but...
Wait,
did you not do it because it's just 3x3?
I did not think that was top 1,000.
No, it wasn't that. I was just thinking, I wonder if it'll be Skewb instead.
Yeah, I thought top 1,000 would be better actually when I saw it.
No, it's not actually that.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's not actually that good for.
Because my official average is worse than that, and I thought I wasn't top 1,000. Wait. Oh, well, I might be. I might not be, but I thought it was like significantly.
You might not be if you're worse than 9.1.
Yeah. Hey, what's your official average, Jasper?
9.4.
Oh, I probably like just over somewhere.
Oh no, I'm sure you made it. It's not that far off.
I mean, it kind of is. 30 places.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
yeah.
it for this episode.
Because if it's 972nd, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you were typing the question in the page.
Yeah, I was. I said that before.
That's why I kept asking. That's why I kept asking for like clarification.
Well, yeah, good job on winning that. That was close with Jasper. Isaac, not so much.
That was really close.
I'm disappointed. Actually. I only knew. I didn't know many of the people. I remember in the Dulcinea podcast, I knew like all the names.
Yeah, I tried putting some more unknown people, so it wasn't just based on if you knew them, because you'd know a lot more people than us.
Yeah.
So it's also,
yeah, particularly if it's like higher ranking.
Yeah.
Like someone who's been queuing for.
So it's basically just to actually see the ranking rather than the person. It's more fair.
Yeah.
Wow, Isaac.
I think I only knew Tim Wong out of that.
Oh, okay. Do you know Ento?
Oh no,
yeah. Alright. So yeah, thanks for joining us this episode.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming
Guess
on.
that's it.
Good luck with all the future podcasts. You do like once a week. Right?
No, it's
Once a month.
Month to month. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, wasn't the? Because I listened to James McDermott's one, but then didn't you upload one last week?
It's like we do it every month, but like not every 30 days.
Okay, but it's not necessarily.
Yeah. So like
we record it every month, but like it's kind of inconsistent when it gets uploaded.
Yeah. If someone's really late in the month, because like Isaac's crashed it before his editing software, so that happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if there's enough guests for one a week.